Hey, what's up, everybody? So, as you may have seen this morning, there was a huge announcement for Project L. They posted a bunch of stuff about duos, some characters, lots of really exciting info. I have great info
Dude, it's
for you
going
as
really
well, which
well.
is that I was invited out to sign up
Really
on to play
enjoying
the
League.
game for a couple of
Haven't played it in 2 years.
So I'm going
Been
to be going
fun.
over tons of footage.
Waiting to see
breaking down
when my
any
brother gets off.
questions or like info you want to know on my stream at 1 p.m. today. So come to the stream, ask questions there.
But
in the YouTube comments, I'll look at that.
A couple people got their hands on Project L, which is exciting because I thought that was a dead game. They announced it like 5 years ago.
Just a shorter first look to give you guys a heads up about what I did. So I was there for 2 days from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. The first day I got to play. So 12 hours of gaming. The next day I played from like 11 to 5 or 6. We ended with like a little in-house tournament. I got a lot of hands-on time with the game. I played it a lot.
Yeah, the League fighting game.
Tell you right away is that
looks interesting. It looks far more complicated than Street Fighter. But Street Fighter is more of like the fundamentals, and this is more like, oh yeah, same dude. Baldur's Gate 3 gonna be so good. There's actually something that I just found out that I didn't know you could do in Baldur's Gate 3. Let's see. Like, you always come across like new things all the time. But like, if you start playing your instrument in camp, this is what happens. I didn't know that this actually happens. This is cool. Like, that's just so cool. That is just so cool. But I want to see Sajam's take on
characters you see. You got to play those characters and more. The other characters we had access to there in various
Project L.
Finished. Some of them were T-posing and stuff. Some of them were quite, far along.
I do like I think Street Fighter 6 is the best fighting game to ever come out.
Like the most finished besides the other 3 characters you're seeing. Another thing is that because we had access to characters and stuff that we're not allowed to talk about yet, we could not record. So all the gameplay footage you're seeing is from the testers of the game, and so everything you're going to be seeing is from them. And I think everything is 2v2 match footage as well. So 2 separate people playing on both teams, which is super fun. I got to play 1v1, 2v2, 1v2, and 2v1, meaning I was versus 2 people, and then me and someone else were versus 1 person. It's extremely seamless. I was playing.
See, I think that's super cool. That's super cool that you can play with a buddy in like a 2v2 situation. When they first announced that it was going to be a tag game, and they kind of, the way they worded things, saying, oh yeah, it's no, it's going to be a 2v2 game, instead of saying it's a tag team game. I thought that's what they meant, and to see it actually unfold is really fucking cool.
And then like my partner was Yibes. We were playing 2v2. Yibes is like, yo, I gotta go hit the bathroom. He just got up, and then I played 1v2 with the same people we were just playing 2v2 with. Very seamless, very easy. 2v2 mode is extremely fun. I think it's like a really great way to get in new people to fighting games. And I think in general, it's a really good idea for a game like this. Speaking of the game, you're probably curious, how does it feel? How's the movement feel? How are the combos? How's the execution? Super fun. The movement is extremely fast. You zip around the screen. It's incredibly wild how fast the movement is in this game. Combos, there's lots of stuff that was executionally very difficult. There was lots of combo routing that had interesting decision making. The game has a launcher that you hit a tag button and your main character hits them, and then your assist character comes in to do an air combo. That like eliminates your opponent's red life and gives you access to like launchers and combos. It also allows you to like put your other character in without having to tag them. The game has 2 assists, forward and backwards, plus assist.
I wonder what that looks like when you do an assist and the other, and you're playing like a 2v2. If you call in an assist, who makes that call? You know what I mean? Like, does the second player, the one who's sitting on the sideline, make that call? Like, hey, cool, I'm going to do this assist right now. Or is that something that the first player makes the call on? It means, hey, this guy just took over my my character for a split second.
And then if you hit The assist button, again, at any point, like in the first frame or after they're finished, you tag into the other character. So this allows you to do like sandwich, left, right pressure, call assist full screen. They jump over the assist, you tag into the other character, air throw them up here. There's lots of really fun, interesting things you can do. The mix-ups are despicable, really aggro, just brutal game to guess on defense. The other thing is that it's really fun that there are so many offensive and defensive mechanics flying around. They were very open to be like, hey, we might have got the tuning on things wrong, or do you want to see new things that we're missing, or is everything good here? It kind of blew me away in the sense that I didn't expect them to let the game be as degenerate as it is. And I mean that in a good way. They really were like, hey, you want to like go left, right, upside down, do nasty little mix-ups, you can do that. So we're going to be taking a look at some of the match footage that you see here. I'll let the intro play out real quick so you guys can hear it, see it.
Starting now.
P1 Darius. P1 Ari.
Are we hurting each other for sport?
Ari actually looks really sick.
Nice.
We call the week. Starting now.
As you may notice, by the way, same intro line on player 1 and player 2 side. And the reason it's like that, for those of you wondering, and I'll pause it right before we get in, is player 1 and player 2 have like different lines. So like if Darius is your point character, he says something different than he's your assist character when he comes in, which is very cool. And same thing for Ari and Echo. Timer at the top, you can see it there. Light bar.
It really is.
On the right, but you get the idea.
It looks amazing. They kind of are pulling an Arc Systems with it. The guys who create Strive and Dragon Ball Fighter Z, they do all the anime games. It's got that same cell shading, except it doesn't have the so one thing that Arc Systems does to trick people is the animations that your characters do skip frames. So like their idle animation, it'll skip a frame to make it look like it was hand drawn. This doesn't look like it's going to skip any frames in the traditional sense.
Here, and then same thing. If I move my camera down, you can see 2 names here. Each character has their own super meter. You can see it down there, both sides. Super meter is useful because you have 2 level 1 supers, which is down, down, and special 1 or special 2. The other controls in the game are light attack, medium attack, heavy attack, and your assist button, which is also the launcher that I mentioned earlier. You can also spend this meter besides supers, your level 1s or level 2s, on parry, which is a defensive mechanic. There's high and low parry. Successful parry gives you this back, and push block. Push block costs 1 gauge, 1 bar of meter. This green gauge you're seeing here, this is your burst, basically. It's called like dynamic save, if I remember correctly. You can control this by hitting your assist button.
Man, there's a lot of mechanics here. I think the UI looks really good. It looks really clean. But 2 separate super meters. Obviously 2 health bars. That's normal in a tag team game. Plus the burst bar. And then you have parry. Just keep going.
And special together, it just bursts you out of the combo. It works exactly like how you expect. You can do it during block stun or while you're being hit. So anytime, basically, right? If your opponent blocks it, you get wall bounced, and then they get a combo. If you're playing duo mode,
wow,
which is really fun, by the way, I highly encourage you to try it when you get your hands on this game. The person who's not playing controls the burst. So there was moments where I was playing with someone, and I'm not going to name names, but I'm elbowing them over and over, like, hey, I'm getting hit. Please burst. Please save me. Burst. Romola, burst. And she, she didn't do it. So this is something that can happen as well. You gotta be eyes on the prize. So let's get into the match, and I'll talk a little bit about everything that's going on here. And kill the camera. You can watch the gameplay. Assist gets smoked immediately. Poor Echo. He just got beat up. There's the burst right there. And then tag into Echo. So one thing is when you burst in this game, you may have noticed, he comes out, your assist character, this is Echo. He comes out the burst, and then you can tag into the character as well. So Echo's out there just doing his thing now. He's the point character. Very cool, like that a lot.
That's pretty cool.
One thing also you're gonna see is, oh, that's a punish. Yeah, unsafe on block. Well, they'll miss the combo after. This is a pretty bad spot into the corner. Darius.
That's amazing.
And that's a wake up.
So it's gonna have a lot of air game. Like that combo is pretty fucking sick looking. I'm not sure how much I like the second player getting to control the burst. Like he said, he was nudging the other player, like, hey, come on, burst. Especially like if you're playing with someone who's actually good at fighting games. Like it for you, for instance, if you're playing Chun-Li, but you had to rely on someone else to press a button for you, that wouldn't, it just wouldn't be fun for the person that's in the match. And then just having to say, hey, burst is like, might as well just give me the command to do it.
Attack that he just did, characters universally have wake up attacks in the game. You just hold your special button when you get up, and you can do a wake up attack. It's invincible. It doesn't have a lot of vertical reach, but you know, pretty solid.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's the tag at the end. And then Apology Man was picking his nose or something. He wasn't ready to do the combo. That's the thing about playing duo mode is you have to be like, hey, are you ready? Like, I'm tagging you in. Oh god, that's both characters getting chonked.
That's a cool little still frame. I think Ari, honestly, like I don't like Darius's shoulder pads. He like in League of Legends when you're top down, it looks good, but in a fighting game like this, it looks goofy. It looks kind of goofy. But Ari, I think this is the best looking Ari that we've gotten.
Air to air combo, nice. Oh, but I'm a little missed. And you saw retreating guard there. This is one of the defensive mechanics. So when you block in this game, it costs you no resource. You just hit light punch and medium punch together, and your character will slide away. DLC is
That's cool.
A bit, but you get the idea.
That's cool.
Lows. So low attacks, you see.
That's cool.
There. Low attacks beat this clean. The other thing is because it moves you backwards and it's weak to lows, it's very weak in the corner. So if she's in the corner trying to do that, you can imagine it doesn't really do anything. There's nowhere to go, and you're weak to lows, so it doesn't get you out or help you at all.
That looks
cool though because you can then use
that looked cool as hell.
Or just defend regularly. You just defend and get out of the corner. So that's the push block. It costs 1 bar to do that push block. That Echo just did. Sends you full screen. It's really just like the ultimate get off me. Like, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't like this. Get away from me. I don't want to be here. I'm not a fan. Ooh, Echo got.
That was a super.
That could have been a kill. Scary. See, even they missed the combos. That makes me feel better. Oh, I like the air throw attempt. Looks pretty cool. I can talk a little bit about these 3 characters.
They have a really high vertical jump in this, so it seems almost like it reminds me of like Capcom versus Marvel, but it looks like the gameplay wise, it looks like they're borrowing from a lot of different games, and more specifically, it looks a lot like Strive with the air combos. Yeah, that's exactly what this is. It's like I've heard a lot of people compare it to the Power Rangers game, and a couple of my buddies are comparing it to Skullgirls. But it does look like it's going to be one of those games, kind of like Dragon Ball Fighter Z, where you just keep your combo going. It's going to be a heavy combo focused game. But I just, again, I'm more of a footsies guy. I like the fundamentals in fighting games, and that's one of the reasons why I love Street Fighter so much, especially Street Fighter 6 with the return to that footsies game and the Oki. And trying to win the neutral game. I feel like this is, potentially one touch and you could just run it down.
Characters too, maybe.
Obviously, people haven't played it much.
Ari is super rushdown, super fast, great air movement. She's kind of like a mix of Storm and like, I don't even know who else to compare it to.
That looked fucking sick. What?
And then the other thing is her movement is like extremely good. So she is hard to deal with out of the air, especially. Darius is like, he's a meat stick. And notice this is the first round. If you look at the top, there's 2 rounds to win the game. Very important. He's just a big meat stick. Darius is very straightforward. Big buttons on the ground. He doesn't have a lot of air mobility or other mobility options. And then Echo is very mobile, really tricky, really complex character. I think I was like the only person really to mess with Echo because every single person.
I think Echo is probably the most unique character in the fighting games. Having the ability to go back in time. Not sure if he gets his health back like he does in the video game or in League of Legends. But just being able to rewind time could really set up a lot of crazy hijinks in the game. And when you have such a heavy focus or emphasis on combos and offense, which is what it seems like this game is just a heavy, they have a couple buttons that get you out of pressure, but they cost, the defense in this game cost meter. I'm not sure if I like that very much.
Picked Echo and then tried him and said, yeah, I only have 2 days. I'm not going to do this. And then they picked Darius. One thing I wanted to mention too at the top of the screen here, these two icons you see, this little hand and then these blue electric signs. Those are what's called fuses. And they're essentially what makes the game different from team to team, even if you're playing the same characters. And it gives you access to different things. So the fuse on the left is called Freestyle. It's the one I use the most. It allows you to tag twice when you call an assist. So you do an assist and then you tag into your character, then you do some more stuff, then you can tag back into your main character, which is something.
This combo just seems like it's infinite.
Imagine, very good. The other fuses, one is like the beginner fuse. It just, you do more damage when your opponent's low on life, or when you're low on life, and you gain a dash cancel. Pretty good, right? See, that was the double tag right there. You just saw from player.
That's pretty cool.
The other fuses are DHC, basically. It lets you do super, which is very useful. And then the other one is double assist, so you can call your assist twice. And a lot of people use that.
I do like how these characters have, I mean, while it's not like straight one-to-one, they have a lot of their abilities from League of Legends, just in a different context. Obviously, we just saw Ari use her dashes that she uses in League. And Darius has his grapple or his pull in.
During testing, it was very strong because you can just call like a lockdown assist and then do some pressure mix-ups. And then
it's a lot of juggling.
And then you can imagine how powerful being able to call your assist twice in a row is. Easy peasy, a little confirmed. This is the level 2, I think. Yeah, this is the level 2. Blasty blast. And that's a KO. So 2 rounds.
That was cool.
You can see the outro here. Slam the axe.
That was so rad.
Yeah, looks pretty cool, right? I have more gameplay to show off. Lots more footage. Lots more questions and stuff. So if there's anything that's not covered in here or other people's videos, let me know. Particularly because I played a lot of Echo. And so I can give you some answers on that. And then I'll do another video when I go over the footage and talk about everything later. Talking about, some of the philosophy behind the game. Some of the stuff we talked about there. Everything, but I just wanted to give you guys a first look at some gameplay, give you guys some first breakdowns of everything we saw. Game's super fast, nasty. The mix-ups you can get are just despicable. It's super cool. I'm really happy that they, embraced a game where it's like you can do sicko stuff to each other and it's just really fun. And like the movement's great, combo damage can be very high, and it's fun. I think like, I have worries that the game was going to feel kind of like they didn't build this for me, a fighting game fan, but I don't feel that way. I was very, very happy.
That's pretty awesome.
I'll go over some more
honestly,
stuff later. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this.
I follow Sajam. He has some really good content.
Just a little bit.
Definitely worth checking out. The movement in this game, it looks like they have a heavy emphasis on movement. Movement and combos, obviously, in offense. Offense is always more entertaining to watch. Nobody wants to see 2 players turtle. But it does worry me a little bit in the gameplay aspect that the defensive options aren't that great. Now, I do know that there are no motion controls either. So it's going to be one of those games where it's easy to pick up, difficult to master, which I'm hoping turns a lot of people into fighting game fans. And maybe they'll move from this game to something like Street Fighter or Grand Blue Fantasy versus or even Dragon Ball Fighter Z. That's what I hope. I would love to have there be way more attention on fighting games, because they are a lot of fun. Whether you're bad or great, they're a lot of fun.
First, you just hit light punch and
But-
medium punch regularly. You just defend and get out of the corner. So that's the push block. Costs one.
The
block.
movement looks super fluid.
That Echo just did. Sends you full screen. It's really just like the ultimate get off me. Like, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't like this. Get away from me.
And then this super right here.
I'm not a fan. Ooh, Echo got
That's pretty cool.
Super, but that could have been it.
All right, let's get back onto some League. This game looks amazing though. I'm definitely excited for it. It's been, they announced it like I was living in San Diego at the time. They announced it like back in 2013, 2014. Maybe no, like 2015-ish. And then we just never heard about it until later, much later, until many years later. In fact, we got Valorant. So they announced this game before they announced Valorant, and then we ended up getting Valorant before even getting details on this game. So I'm pretty excited to see that they're actually putting it out, especially with the Street Fighter 6 hype that's going on right now. So many people are playing more fighting games, and that's amazing. To me, that's amazing.